Jim Bob, obviously, I guess how would you balance the run game as far as missing JT versus having to just be better with what you have in Zach Moss and others?
Yeah, I think we got to be better overall from the coaching staff on down, all of us out there that participate in, just sort of putting the plan together, putting the weekly practice plan together. I'm speaking about myself here, sort of putting the scripts together, putting the plan together, putting the cards together, and then just playing a little bit better, cleaning up a few things. Obviously, JT's a heck of a player. We'll be excited when the time is right for him to come back. But it was a group effort yesterday. We would like to perform better than that in the run game, and for the most part, we really have this year. But yesterday just wasn't our best day.
Joel.
From an offensive line standpoint, with the pass protection, you guys have been so good for most of it. Was yesterday just kind of an off day?
Yeah, I think a little bit was just sort of yesterday. Just wasn't our best day in a lot of different facets. Sometimes those things compound, right? Those gosh, you go for maybe a yard or 0 yards on 1st and 10 on a run play, and now you are 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 11, and those pass rushers turn it up a little bit. That they may not be going quite so fast or quite so far up the field on a 2nd and 4 because they gotta, just sort of the situation of the down and distance reflects that. So I think it just kind of all played together yesterday to, we had a tough one out there, and those guys, give a lot of credit to Cincy. They're a good group, man. That front's been playing good ball for a bunch of years. Probably don't get the credit they deserve. They're a tough group to block in all facets of the game, and they were humming yesterday, and the crowd was into it. And just like I said, wasn't our best day. We're looking for better moving forward. Going to put our best foot forward, sort of with the short week ahead. Sometimes a short week can be a blessing, right? You don't dwell on the past too much. You got to fix a few things, clean a few things up, and then shoot, we're on to the next one. And that's kind of the part of the week we're heading towards here soon. So,
Nate.
Have teams been playing Josh Downs differently at all lately, just based on kind of the player he's established himself as? Just it doesn't seem like it's quite as much volume as he had earlier in the season. And what, I guess, what can you guys do to sort of get him a little bit back to where he was maybe a month ago?
Yeah, I think the coverage scheme variety for each defense kind of sort of does dictate different guys getting up, maybe a little better, cleaner one-on-one style looks. Whether that's them basing their coverages off of our personnel and how we've been using them, or sometimes it's just sort of the lead coverages for certain teams really stack the middle of the field or make it tough on those inside guys to get those one-on-ones. So we'll keep we're working like crazy to put together a good game plan to have success, overall as an offense, but certainly, you're asking a question about the pass game, trying to find that best path to have success as a pass game. The ball will get spread around. I've said it a bunch of times this year, but the targets sort of come and go. We want all our guys to have success and help us win these games. And Josh has been playing really good football. I'm sure the ball will find him quite a bit here as we make this stretch run here in December and into January. He'll be a big part of this thing. So the targets kind of come and go, and give the defense some credit for mixing some coverages up. That's what happens in this league. And just the same way they mix up, sometimes to make it a little tougher on you one way the next week or 2 weeks from now or whatever. Sometimes they go the other way. So our guys just got to keep plugging, keep playing. We got a really important stretch ahead of us, and we got to lock in and play good ball. That's all of us. So Josh been doing a nice job. His job is to kind of keep finding ways to get open in those one-on-ones and find those good spots when it is that sort of zone coverage. And he's been doing a nice job of that. So we'll be looking forward to a little bit more of it from him.
Kevin.
Jim Bob, you guys have needed Blake Freeland a lot this year. What have you thought about his play?
Yeah, Blake's getting better and better and better. Called into duty, kind of multiple sides, which, for a young tackle, that's not the easiest thing. He's been sort of working a few different things against some really good football players in this league. And you see him just improving as as the year goes, and that's what you want young guys to do. Not always perfect, not going to be perfect for young players, especially in this league, blocking some of these great D linemen. But Blake's got a great head on his shoulders. He's attacking the challenge that's presented every week. Every week's a new week, a new challenge with who's across the ball from you and how they like to rush and how they like to sort of play different run blocks and things like that. And we're excited about the trajectory and the development of Blake Freeland, and looking for a little bit more of it. So yeah, like I said, excited for the direction he's heading. He's doing a nice job working during the week to get better, and that's showing up on game day. We got to all keep improving, and Blake included. But we're pleased with the trajectory.
And kind of off of that, what is the challenge of TJ Watt?
Yeah, I mean, one of the premier players in this league. I don't think I'm breaking any ground saying that. He's an excellent player. Obviously rushing the passer, you get a lot of love in this league for rushing the passer, sacking the quarterback, affecting the quarterback, things like that. But shoot, I don't know. I just saw him intercept a ball. I've seen him bat balls down. They drop him every so often. And shoot, he's back there. He gets pretty good depth on those drops. He's as talented as they come. He's one of, if not the best defender in the league. He's a great player. We got to know where he's at every play and what the plan is for him every play, and sort of respect him going in and take on that challenge head on. Right. So a really good football player. They got a bunch of really good football players. I know he gets a lot of the pub, and it's deserved for him, but that's a really good defense we're facing off against Saturday, and a good defensive coordinator. They got a good thing going there. The challenge is real for us. We're excited for it. So hopefully get a nice Saturday afternoon home crowd, come out there and support us, and see if we can't find a few points out there against these guys.
George?
You were in Jacksonville last year, obviously, for that late season push, win the division, win a playoff game. From your perspective, with the young guys especially, what is the key this time of year when they haven't been there for them to kind of rise to the stage?
Yeah. My perspective on it is I would say I don't necessarily think you rise to the stage. I think you avoid falling. I think some guys try so hard to make the extra super great play. My goodness, I'm going to make the greatest play I've ever made in my life. And they maybe overdo it a little bit in these big moments, these big parts of the year, these big games. I think one of the keys to playing really well in a big game is being able to just play exactly like you do all year. Keep your mindset, keep your psychology, keep your awareness sort of along those same lines as you do all year. Because I think when the games get bigger, if you can play your same consistent level of football, and maybe somebody else on the other side of the ball is feeling a little bit of that pressure, feeling a little bit of that big game, they change their game a little bit, and maybe there's a little fall off there. So to me, you just keep playing good football. You just keep working your process. I know it's not probably the most exciting quote in the world, but I don't think you go try to do a whole lot of extra. I don't think you try to go outside of your normal sort of bound to playing good football and try to do the extra, because that's when you overreach and maybe you make that mistake. So we're going to try to play really good football. We're going to try to sort of put our best week of work in here, and excited for a Saturday home game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That I'm sure that'll be a fun environment. And that's what it's going to be all year, the rest of the year, right? Every week we're going to show up, and these games are going to get bigger, right? We're going to keep playing. We're going to go keep fighting during the week to put good plans together, and to go execute those things in practice, in walkthrough, in meetings, and then go let that process turn into a good result in December and January. That's been my experience.
Chat?
Jim Bob, some positions are sort of unforgiving, cornerback, left tackle, and sometimes their guy just sort of has a better day than your guy. Was yesterday just a tough day for Bernie with Hendrickson? Did you just boil it down to that?
Yeah, Hendrickson's a heck of a football player. I think some of the situational stuff I mentioned earlier, kind of getting in some of those second and longs and third and sort of must pass situations, put Bernie in a tough spot, and just like the rest of us, we just all didn't kind of have our best day yesterday. It's important for us all. Shoot, if I didn't have my best day, I got to go learn from it, make my notes and adjustments. And, we got to do a good job of coaching these guys this week, and we got to flush that thing and move forward to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think offensively, it's not even worth singling out, somebody didn't have their best. I think the whole offense, we just weren't quite clicking yesterday. It manifested in a few different ways, and got to sort of get back on track here offensively, and coaching wise, we got to do a great job this week of coaching our guys to sort of learn from the issues that showed up in the game, learn from maybe the mistakes that we made in the game, but then ultimately when the time's right, which the time will be right pretty soon here because we're on a short week, we flush that thing, and here come the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get to know these guys. So that's the benefit of the short week.
Thanks, Jim Bob.
Last one for Coach James.
Yeah, just one quick follow-up on the run game. Do you think defenses are doing anything in particular to just make it harder? For example, obviously you all want to be balanced, but it doesn't slice that way every single game. But Zach Moss last week, I think it was 19 for 51. Yesterday, 13 for 28. I'd imagine that's not ideal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's those defensive coaches are really smart. There's this point in the year, we've played a lot of football. They've played a lot of football. We're evaluating them. They're evaluating us, and we're game planning like crazy, and they're game planning like crazy. And sometimes, those defenses do a good job of sort of taking away something you do well, and then we adjust and try to do that next thing well. And then whether or not the defense adjusts depends on how you go from there. And in the run game, we've had some success this year. We've moved the ball a little bit in the run game. When you do that, you put those successful plays on tape. The defense is going to study those, and it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game where, if they're going to make this adjustment, then we need to make this adjustment, and we keep that process going. Give the Bengals credit for playing good defense yesterday, and sort of as the NFL season goes on, those adjustments will come and go both ways, and I like our chances of coming out on top on some of those as well. Our guys are working really hard, and we're excited about those guys. We're excited to get back sort of on track in the run game. I do think it's coming soon. But we got a great challenge this week, great opponent. The Steelers played really good defense. They have for a long time. They've done a great job versus the run for a long time. So the challenge is real for us this week. But that's what we sign up for. That's why we do what we do. So excited to take on that challenge.